Good morning from beautiful Moab, Utah. We are lining up right now, excited to participate in one of the trails here at Easter Jeep Safari 2021. The trail we're doing today is Flatiron Mesa. You'll notice I'm all by myself. Unlike previous years where I brought the whole family with me, this year, because of the timing and everything else, it's just me. So it's a little lonely in the Jeep. Hopefully I'll make some new friends. There's lots of great looking Jeeps lined up here. But we're excited to try this trail out. I've never done it. It's rated a 6 by the Red Rock 4-wheelers. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of obstacles we encounter and what kind of scenery we can enjoy. Morning. Great looking Jeep. Love that color.
Thank you.
That's right. As you can see, we've got a great group of well-built vehicles. It'll be really interesting to see how well they do on the trail today. And it's a relatively small group. I don't know if we've got more people coming or not, but this should make the day go really quick and easy and be a lot of fun.
Some of these, we've got some slip rock things that look worse than they are. You know, I don't think any of these rigs will have trouble.
Well, after a brief safety meeting, we are going to hop in our Jeeps, put it in 4-wheel drive, and get on the trail. We're off to an adventurous and rocky start. Not rocky isn't bad, but you know, rocky isn't good. So the next obstacle is called Rubble Hill, and the way he described it, there could be softball size pieces of gravel that will fly back onto the vehicle behind you if you don't let if you don't give each other enough space. So each vehicle is supposed to let the other one go all the way up the hill before going up. It's not terribly steep, but it definitely has some gravel on it. That actually wasn't bad at all. I was expecting, oh, there's cows out there. I was expecting something a little bit more difficult, but it wasn't bad at all. Moo! They don't care. It's a fun little gully.
Left at the bottom of the hill on the Cast Pipeline Road.
Oh, that was fun. One of my favorite things about going off-roading in a Jeep like this is climbing and descending. Just the feel of the vehicle as you're going really steep down and you feel your seatbelt pulling you, or as you're climbing up and you feel yourself going back into the seat. And the camera never does it justice. So if you're watching this and thinking, maybe I should go out and try it, the answer is yes. Yes, you should. You should go out and try it, do it yourself so you can feel it, because you will never experience vicariously what you would experience in real life. You know, you can't tell from the video, but this is a little tippier and more off camber than I would have expected it to be. Not bad though. Seemed a little rougher than it needed to. Hopefully they're okay. Barely any squeal. Nice. You know, one of my goals when I off-road is to do the trail without having to gun it fast. You know, overcome any obstacle without having to really floor it and use momentum instead. That way it's all about gears and gripping. And then the other challenge I have is, for myself personally, is to do the trail in a way that it doesn't require putting on the lockers whenever possible and doesn't spin the tires. So it's always a personal challenge to try and like not squeal, not use lockers. Like, you know, I use them when I need to, but really just try and, like, I think of it as like making perfect lines, picking the exact right line and doing the exact right speed to overcome the obstacle perfectly. Oh, very off camber here. Tippy. And steeper than I would have expected. Kind of fun. And we're level again. It is steeper than it looks. It really tips you up. A bit of a wall here. puddle in there. Nicely done. Slipping a bit. Yeah, good. Too much. Yeah, there we go. Tires do the work. It's like a little traffic jam up here. It's that hard right turn people are trying to make. All right. Stopping in a tippy spot, but the Jeep in front of me is not moving. I should have waited. That's my fault. Oh, I hate being tippy. Okay, feeling better. All right, that's better. One of the biggest challenges that any trail leader will face is keeping the group together. As people encounter obstacles, they handle it different ways. Some stop and look and get out. Some say, I want to stop and get a spot. Some say, I'm just going to go. And then oftentimes after a big obstacle, there's a kind of a relaxation point where it's not the right word for it, but a place where, you know, now there's no obstacles. And so there's a whole bunch of people that are stopped at an obstacle waiting for their turn. And then all the people that have already done it are now zipping ahead. So keeping a big group together, you know, whether that's 5, 10, 15, sometimes even 30 Jeeps, can be a real challenge. Luckily, our trail leader has made sure that everybody has CB radios and is communicating, hey, we're stopping up here. Hey, we're going to the right. Hey, we're going this way, things like that. So having a CB radio in your Jeep, you know, when you come to big events like this is a pretty nice piece of equipment to use. Now, you can choose a variety of CB radios. I've got a handheld one that I can plug in when I need it and then unplug when I don't need it, because I don't come on these group events very often, so I don't need it very often. The drawback, however, is those CB radios that are handheld don't have nearly the range. So I can hear the trail leader just fine because he's broadcasting well. But many times when other people are making comments, I can't hear what they're saying. So it's good to hear the trail leader, but if you want to invest in something, if you're going to be doing these events, I would say invest in something that's going to be a little stronger and that's going to be able to both broadcast and pick up signals better from all the people around them. And a lot of that could just be the way you route your antennas and things like that. Ready? Good?
Big drop here, so go real slow. There you go. Then when you get down, you're going to want to kind of point right, skirt that boulder towards that tree. Keep it level.
Well, let's go watch some other people do it. This time we'll get to see it from the outside. I told him where to go, but yeah, spot him. And I'll film. Okay. Get that driver tire on that.
Driver tire on this little wedge here. A little bit past our driver.
Yep, good. You're just about to go. Slow, slow, slow. Yeah. Little passenger, yep.
Real slow here. Coming down in a second. Going down.
Yep, just put your tires right against that other rock. Line up right against it. Front and then back as well. Nice and slow off the ledge. Nice, very nice. Okay. Come back again a little bit passenger because you're gonna wanna hit that next ledge straight on. That's steeper than it looks. Yep, nice and slow. You got it. Okay, there's a couple other tricky ledges up there. Just take them straight, you'll be fine. Nice work. And that, my friends, is the Tilt-A-Whirl. It's a nice little challenging trail. Or not obstacle, not trail. The whole trail is a challenging trail, but not terribly challenging. You take everything slow, you won't hit, and you know, your Jeep will do just fine. Look at this guy, he's a total champ. Dude, these rigs are amazing. How much fun are we having today? So we just guided all the other Jeeps down those ledges. The last Jeep came down and said, hey, by the way, this isn't Tilt-A-Whirl. Tilt-A-Whirl's back there. They're like, yeah, apparently once we were done, the trail leaders were like, oh, I guess this is the wrong thing. This is just some ledges. This isn't the named obstacle. So I don't know what Tilt-A-Whirl was. I think we missed it completely. One guy said, well, I did it, but it's way back there. So, oh well. we're still having a great time. This area out ahead of us is called the Wash. Probably because it looks like a bunch of water washed through here and washed out all the rocks. The canyon views here are incredible. We've been driving along the rim of this canyon for a while now and just looking out. It's hard to keep my eye on the road because I want to keep looking out at the steep canyon cliffs on the other side. It just seems to keep going and going, and it gets deeper and deeper and taller. Absolutely incredible. Look at this. Wow. Just amazing. Just absolutely amazing. This is part of the reason I do this. I love seeing things like that. Well, I was driving and I kept hearing this weird thump, thump, thump. And it was happening even when I was just going over the smallest of bumps. So I stopped and I went and checked everything. I looked at all my paint marks, I looked at all my bolts, I didn't see any problems. I didn't check everything apparently. So I, kept on driving. Kept hearing the thump, thump, thump. And it was even on like just flat stuff, was just bumping a little bit. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So, stopped again, took a real thorough look. I kept thinking it was my rear because my coil on the passenger side in the rear is kind of bowing out a little bit. And as it bows out like this, the track bar is hitting it, and it's actually wearing on the track bar, or the track bar and the coil are wearing on each other. You can actually see where it's exposed the metal. And I thought, well, I wonder if it's that, but I'm like, if it's even happening on the flat stuff, that wouldn't make sense. So I decided to keep looking around, and I found a broken sway bar link. One of my driver's side sway bar in the front, which my sway bar should be disconnected, it shouldn't have had a problem. That it's completely sheared off the bolt and it was nubbing, just kept hitting. I took the thing off and it's fine. I don't hear any more bumps, things like that. But as I got back in the Jeep, I noticed that my sway bar light was off. So somehow, one of these times when I turned the Jeep off, the sway bar reconnected itself. I didn't intentionally do that, but the sway bar reconnected itself and it broke the sway bar end link because there was too much weight from the tires and everything else that's under there, and the sway bar connector just couldn't handle it. So, innocent mistake, I guess. It's disappointing that the, sway bar reconnected itself. Maybe that's a function when you turn the, maybe we turned it off when we turned the Jeep off for lunch. Maybe that's what happens. The computer resets and it says, hey, you must not want this anymore. So it turns it off. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's a nice simple fix and not very expensive. And that light keeps turning on because the lantern keeps hitting it. Funny. So this section of Flatiron Mesa is actually private property, which means that if you were to come back on your own and run this trail and you didn't have a permit to cross this, you couldn't come through this part. You'd have to go back the way you came or go a different route. Because the Red Rock four-wheelers have gotten together and mapped out all the trails and gotten permissions, we of course are allowed to be on here because they have a permit for this. But normally you wouldn't be able to drive on this area, at least not legally. Yet another reason it's important to tread lightly. Stay on the trail, take good care of stuff so that the rest of us don't get kicked off because of something you did to ruin it for us. You would never do that, right? Of course you wouldn't. And as quickly as it started, Flatiron Mesa's over. This was a fun trail. I really enjoyed it. I think I would definitely bring my kids back here and my wife, let her try this out, maybe some of my buddies in their Jeeps. I think it'd be fun to do as a family. I'd have to understand how I could do that with the land restrictions or the private property restrictions. Maybe we just need to get a permit for it. I'm sure we could probably obtain that through Red Rock 4-wheelers or something like that. But overall, I've really enjoyed this, and it's been a fantastic day down here in Moab. Now I'm gonna head back into town, check on a couple things, maybe stop at some of the vendors, see if I can hit up the TerraFlex event that they're having here in town for Easter Jeep Safari 2021. Hope you enjoyed watching along.
Road out to 191, there's a gas pumping plant there, and you can hear that air up there. Turn left to head back to Moab.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for following along, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video with someone else who you think might appreciate it. See you, everyone.